it's the same thing. If they have any questions, obviously, ask. It's really hard to change first.
One thing that I've learned over here before
All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. All right. Good morning, everyone. It is 10:06. Today is Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. This is the Development and Environmental Review Committee. My name is Travis Martin with the Planning Division. I will be the chair today. We're going to go ahead and just start with our Pledge of Allegiance for May. So, ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll just go around first with roll call with everyone. As I said, my name is Travis. I'm with the Planning Division, and we'll start on my left.
Sure. I'm Mina Bisharam with Land Development.
Zan Jamshid, Public Works, Traffic Engineering.
Robert Spovital, Public Works Engineering. Robert Lindbergh, Water Department Engineering.
Chantel Choice, Planning Division.
Gracie Johnson, Public Works, Solid Waste.
Sam Marinan, Building and Safety.
All right, thank you, everyone. I'll start with any item or anyone here to comment on any item that's not on the agenda this morning. All right, seeing none. Perfect. Moving on to the consent agenda. Just a note, there's no discussion of the consent items unless it is requested by a committee member that we pull an item for discussion. The only item we have on the consent today is approval of the draft minutes. These would have been from the last regular meeting on July 26, 2023. Any questions on the minutes, or otherwise we will just look for a motion for approval.
Approved. Second.
All right, thank you, Mina and Azam. Moving on, item number 2 this morning. This would be development permit type D 22-16. This is a request to allow the demolition of an existing 17,038 square foot building and the development and establishment of a truck parking and dispatch facility on a property containing approximately 2.14 acres. I do want to make one correction on the agenda. It is noted the property address was 595 North G Street. That was a typo. It is 595 South. Property is located in the Industrial Light Zoning District. This project has been deemed categorically exempt as infill development. And our recommendation today would be for the Development and Environmental Review Committee to adopt Resolution 2023-026. That would be approving the development permit based off the findings of fact that have been drafted and subject to the recommended conditions, and finding that the project is categorically exempt under CEQA. With the applicant here for this, yes. Any questions or anything you'd like to say for the item? You've been provided a copy of the conditions already. Questions on those, or does everything look good as far as we're concerned?
Conditions of approval.
Pardon?
I believe you've sent the conditions of approval.
Oh, okay. No issues with anything that's come up. All right, and we'll go ahead. I don't believe we have any public speakers on this item this morning. All right. Then with that, we'll just look to have a motion to approve, unless any committee member may have anything they'd like to add to this item.
Approved. Second.
Thank you, Mina and Azam. And just all in favor?
Yeah.
And no any opposition. All right. Congratulations. And this one has been approved. What we will do, we will apologize. The case planner for this not here today, but over the next week we will get the final resolution executed, get that transmitted out to you, and then he'll follow up with you on any appropriate next steps. All right, moving on, item number 3. This is extension of time 23-01. This is a request to allow a 1-year extension for previously approved development permit type D 20-01. This is for the development of a truck and trailer parking facility on just under 14.5 acres. Property is located at 157 North Rancho Avenue in the industrial heavy zone. This action specifically, the extension is being deemed categorically exempt environmental determination, I believe, was an MND for this originally. That still stands, and the extension is not posing to change anything that would upset that previous determination. I believe we do have the applicant for this item here as well. Welcome. Good morning. Do you have anything you'd like to add with the item, or any presentation you'd like to make?
No.
Okay. I believe we do have a number of applicants, or a number of public speakers on this one, so we will go ahead and open up the public hearing for this item. First, I'll call Christian Flores. If you'd like to come up. It's the podium on your left.
Hi, my name is Christian Flores. I'm a community organizer with Inland Congregations United for Change, and I work with mobile home and apartment residents to build up tenant unions across the city, working with mobile home residents on Rancho. And I was asked by one of the residents who couldn't make it, Sandra Agustin, to come out and just ask for questions and clarity in regards to the project and how it would affect the residents at the mobile home park. And I guess more specifications on why it's CEQA exempt, because folks just want to know more details specifically about what's planned for that area and whether they have anything to be more concerned about, because it is one of the areas in the city that are, because it's industrially zoned already. It's one of the areas with elevated health risks as a result of the pollution from the beltway just to begin with. So just that if there's any way for those questions to be answered, and I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that there's no interpretation or anything like that for Spanish or any other languages for the sake of hearings and planning committee meetings, right? It's only at City Council.
Not at this meeting this morning, no.
Thank you.
Just for clarity, to answer the question on the exemption, the reason that this item is deemed exempt is the original project, as noted, was subject to a mitigated negative declaration. That was adopted with the project. The action today is not saying that the project itself is exempt, as it's already been found under that MND. It's that the action of extending the project is not changing anything with the scope, the intensity, or impacts from the project. So simply by extending the expiration date on the item, it's not creating any new environmental impacts that would need to be analyzed. Everything that was done, because the scope stands as originally approved, the previous environmental determination stands. As far as you mentioned the mobile home park, are you referring just to the north of the property?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. I apologize. I'm filling in on this item, so I can't speak specifically to the what is being done right there. I don't know if our applicant may be able to speak a little bit to any of the buffering or anything else that we're doing on the north side of that property.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I don't know if you might be able to add anything onto that.
Which trailer park? I don't understand which. I don't know the trailer park north of our.
Is it the properties right in here?
No, that's those are single family homes. There's no trailer park there.
Which property, may I ask then? I may be unclear on which site you're referring to.
¿Cuál es el domicilio de?
These two lots are single family, but there is one up here that does that.
So those are single family homes that have same people that lived there for 70 years.
2075 Rialto Avenue.
2075. Okay, sorry, thank you.
Was that south of Rialto Avenue, or that's quite a distance away from the?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's so. If we're looking Rialto, Rancho, then it's a property over here that's being impacted. I mean, there shouldn't be any direct impact to that. The truck routes. I mean, trucks wouldn't be going that direction. They would be going all east on Rialto towards the freeway. Because that property doesn't abut the site, it wouldn't be anticipated to believe that there would be any direct impact to the site.
Que dices que la propiedad de las casas móviles de Petit Chateau están en área al al sur, que está como a la esquina izquierda de la mapa, pues que no está visible por la mapa, pero el área del proyecto es suficiente, dicen que es suficiente lejos de que las trocas, no sé cómo decir freight trucks en español, los camiones, van a estar yendo hacia el oeste, no, hacia el este, para el freeway, no para el oeste donde está dirigido el parque. Entonces que de lo que ellos piensan que no va a haber tanto impacto como si fuera directamente cerca. Pero como se dice, también lo que había preguntado es que es porque es la razón que no, como se dice, son exentos de SIGA, que son como las regulaciones del estado ambientales, y dicen que por medio del proyecto que no lo están hablando en, como se dice, en específicas en este tiempo, porque desde cuando había sido aprobado y que no han habido cambios desde el reporte que le hicieron anteriormente, en términos de los efectos y los reportes hasta ahora, que supuestamente tienen, ¿cómo se dice?, están haciendo suficientes mitigaciones para poder hacer el proyecto.
Estamos de acuerdo. Hay familias, hay niños, vamos a vivir con ruido como el domingo. Sí, no, estamos de acuerdo.
Nosotros estamos en 200.
Estamos de acuerdo, son muchos niños, familias.
Puedo ver el mapa, yo no lo he aceptado, porque el espacio número 2, precisamente aquí es lo que estaría bastante.
Estamos muy apuntados, ¿no?
Yo no había hecho acto de presencia porque esa pena lo que quería es que reciba una carta de estas. Y yo no sabía nada de esto, y si no estoy leyendo, que estoy leyendo
De esta es la primera vez que
Sí, que la última vez que lo aprobaron,
seguro que eso estaría muy bueno.
If I may, if we're getting into a bit of a discussion, I mean, we can stick to if we have any direct questions on the action today.
Yeah, a lot of folks are lifting that, I guess, whenever it was previously approved, there wasn't any form of public outreach or notification, and this is the first that they've been hearing about it, is specifically in regards to the extension versus the original project proposal.
I mean, I apologize, I can't speak to that. I can say any item that would come to this hearing. I can't speak for this one specifically, because that wasn't part of the original, but any item that is coming to this hearing is fully noticed in requirement with what is in our municipal code. There was a change to our noticing requirements a couple years back. It may have, I don't know if it fell just before or after this item, but there was a change where noticing requirements were expanded. They used to be 500 feet. They did go to 1,000 feet, so it is possible that the original application, while noticed properly for the requirements at the time, may have not extended as far as this item today. Yeah, it changed right around the time of this application, so it is possible that that is different, but regardless of requirements changing, everything would have been done in compliance with what was required at the time of, the respective action. We did, I don't know if there were any other questions. I think, did he address the initial concerns that you had brought up?
If you don't mind me asking, when was the actual change of the notifications as well in regards, you just mentioned that.
I would have to look that up. I don't have that detail exactly right at this moment,
Okay,
but that's something we can certainly bring up.
Yeah, because if communities actually, which are gonna be affected by this project, and communities actually bring that concern, I think that it would actually take, it has to be taken in consideration, the fact that these are the people that live in the neighborhood.
Mhm.
They didn't get notification, you guys are extending this project, and you guys are not taking in consideration that this is their first time receiving those notices. Whether prior to you guys approving or this extension, I think that has to be taken in consideration, how it's gonna be affected by the community is gonna be affected by this project.
I would say those impacts would have been addressed in that original environmental document, as I noted. And if the requirements did change, I don't have the exact date on what that was, certainly not in front of me at the moment. That's something we can look up. But regardless of what the noticing requirements were, the impacts would have still been looked at through that overall environmental document.
Within 500 feet.
You're misquoting what I'm saying. The environmental impacts don't stop at 500 feet. The document that would have been analyzed looks at the much larger area. It is simply the noticing that was at that distance that has since been changed.
Right.
But that does not mean we stop looking at that point.
Right. Well, try to understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
I understand that you said the impact and the studies that would not have changed. However, the impact of the community and their output to come over and give to speak would have changed. That is what I'm trying to actually tell you. That there's a difference because the law changed in projects that have been affected right at the cut line. That's what the communities actually have in that outburst. That change would bring consequences to this neighborhood, your community that is actually speaking at this time, getting the first notification. Whether it is the 500, which or it will be 1,000, people did not get notification. You gave those at 500 feet, correct. There was no comment, there was no public, no community coming over to speak. You gave now those 1,000. It does make a difference. As you notice today, you have a full house because they got those notifications. So that's what I'm trying to convey to the board.
For the benefit, what we'll do today, I would like to go through the rest of the comments that we do have, the official speaker slips. We'll hear that, and then we'll see where we move from that point. The next speaker I have, I believe it's Ada. Is that correct? I'm not sure if I'm.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Ada Trujillo, soy residente de San Bernardino.
Good morning, my name is Ada Trujillo and I'm a resident of San Bernardino.
Donde yo vivo está como uno o dos bloques de donde está pasando donde van a hacer esta extensión.
Where I live, it's around 1 or 2 blocks.
Y quiero que sepan que aunque se diga que el tráfico va a ir hacia el lado este, nos va a afectar como residentes. Yo no vivo en la esquina enfrente de donde va a ser la extensión.
Although you guys are saying that the traffic is gonna go a certain way, it's gonna affect our residents.
La contaminación en el área donde yo vivo está demasiado fuerte para nuestra salud.
The air pollution where I live, it's super bad for our health.
Y tenemos que vivir, y nuestros hijos tienen que crecer con esta contaminación.
And our kids need to grow up with this air pollution.
Y aparte de la contaminación, tenemos el peligro de que los camiones no viajan solo hacia el este, viajan también buscando la Pepe, que es donde yo vivo, en la Meridian y la Villato.
And also taking in consideration that the trucks are not only going to the east, but they're also going where I live, which is
Pepper
and Rialto.
Los camiones buscan el 10, así que la contaminación está extendiéndose a todas. Aunque digan que no hay casas, sí hay casas, sí hay gente viviendo ahí. Hay niños que están viviendo ahí.
And the trucks are also going to the 10 freeway. And although you guys are saying that there's no houses, there's houses and there's people that live in that area.
Y aunque ustedes digan que aquí no hay casas alrededor, que no hay casas enfrente, hay mobile homes, que es donde nosotros vivimos en casas móviles, y en el parque donde yo vivo es muy pequeño, pero hay 67 casas donde por lo menos en cada casa viven 4 personas.
And even if you guys are saying that there's no homes, there's mobile homes, which is where I live, and there's around 67 homes in that area.
Y quiero pedirles que por favor que piensen también qué es lo que están aprobando cuando hacen extensiones, cuando aprueban proyectos, pensando solo en que no están contaminando porque se ve un área pequeña, pero no es cierto. No es esa información la que deben de tomar en consideración ustedes.
And I want to ask you to think about what you're approving, because although it looks like a small area, it's impacting a lot of residents.
Nuestra salud está siendo puesta en sus manos cuando ustedes aprueban tanto proyecto que nos está afectando.
Our health is being put in your hands when all of you are approving projects that impact our health.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. All right, our next speaker, Joanna Silva.
I would like to say firstly good morning to the Commission. And I would also like to say how deeply saddened I am to be here today. I'm deeply saddened that once again industry is taking precedent over the homes and the lives of our community members. We are seeing that people here are okay with the continuation of repressing and honestly taking resources away from already vulnerable communities. And I see that today in this room because we, if anyone here would have taken the time to drive around the neighborhoods surrounding this area, you would have been made very well aware that a majority of this community is Latino. You have people here who have a language barrier, and I do not see this commission accommodating to that community. I'm deeply saddened that there is this intention to develop a parking facility for diesel trucks and trailers right next to BNSF, who has already poisoned the air. I am 700 feet away from where this is. I am on South Pennsylvania Avenue, 201. That is just right down the street. I see the street on that map. You can't see me on that map. And that is deeply terrifying, and that is deeply saddening. Because I am not 100% sure if anyone in this chamber, besides the people in the audience, have actually been to these areas, have actually driven around and seen the homes. I am dumbfounded as to how this is considered CEQA exempt. I don't understand. I don't understand the guidelines for when this happens, and I quite frankly am very disgusted and disappointed to see that this is the first time I'm hearing about this. I have been a community advocate for many years, since before I was 18. And I'm sickened to see that this is happening in my community and it's happening in the shadows. I'm sickened to see that industry has taken a higher toll than the people in this community. I'm sickened to see that you sit here and are okay with the idea of the continuation of the poisoning of already vulnerable communities for the sake of industry, for the sake of expanding. And on top of that, you say that, it's not really going to affect us traffic-wise. That's not true. A lot of the streets around us do not have any kind of laws that keep trucks away from these areas. They will find a way, and they will find a way crawling around residential areas. And that's deeply saddening to me. You are putting a burden on already vulnerable and suffering infrastructure. Infrastructure that can't handle that. Just on my way here, on Rialto Avenue, I found a new pothole that wasn't there last night. A pothole that would have ended my 2007 Honda Civic. That would have left me stranded on the side of the street. And you further wish to strain that infrastructure. You further wish to pollute the area in which I live, in which my little brother lives, in which my mom lives, where my mom got cancer, in which my brother has severe allergies and is borderline asthmatic, in which I myself have severe allergies and have chronic bronchitis after moving into this area. I'm so sad to have to be here today. And I ask you to please keep into consideration the communities that will be affected by this development. Already very vulnerable communities. I ask you to please halt the development, halt the extension of the permit, because there are communities here, there are children, there are families, there are mothers, there are fathers that simply wish to provide but cannot, that wish for their children to be able to have a safe place to play, and yet when we go outside we breathe poison. Already because of BNSF, and now added on top of that, a parking facility dedicated
next speaker, Fanny Silva.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Fanny Silva. Good morning, my name is Fanny Silva. Yo vivo en el 201 South Pennsylvania Avenida en San Bernardino. I live at the 201 South Pennsylvania Avenue in San Bernardino. Llevo 10 años viviendo en este domicilio. I have 10 years living in this residence. Anteriormente vivía yo en la Sterling y Baseline. Before this, I used to live on Sterling and Baseline. Cuando yo me moví a este lugar, when I first moved to this new place, empecé con un problema de la tiroides. I started to develop problems with my thyroid. Nunca había sufrido de ninguna enfermedad, siempre había sido muy sana. Prior to this, I have never had any kind of health issues, and this was the first time that this ever arose. Para el 2014 tuve que ir al doctor porque me sentía muy mal, muy cansada, muy agotada, no podía levantarme, era muy difícil para mí ir a trabajar y atender la casa, mis hijos, todo. By 2014, I had to seek medical help because I was not myself. I was in a position where I was tired, I was constantly agitated, I was constantly exhausted to the point where I wasn't able to maintain my daily duties, I wasn't able to go to work, I wasn't able to maintain my household. Cuando me hicieron estudios, salí positiva de cáncer de tiroides. When they conducted studies, it came back that I had thyroid cancer. Eso fue consecuencia por el smog y por lo malo que está, porque yo vivo, el tren está atrás de donde yo vivo. And this was as a result of air pollution, because the train is right behind where I live. Después de ahí me quitaron mi tiroides en el 2018. It wasn't until 2018 when they finally removed my thyroid. Doy gracias a Dios que no se me regó el cáncer. I'm very thankful that the cancer was contained and successfully removed. Ahorita estoy todavía en el proceso de tomar pastillas todos los días por lo de mi tiroides. I'm in the process of having to live without a thyroid and having to take pills to regulate the hormones that are required. A lo mejor ustedes se van a preguntar por qué estoy contándoles todo esto. You might be asking yourself as to why I'm telling you all of this. Por el motivo de que si ya tenemos contaminación con el tren y ahora vamos a tener mucha más contaminación con los troques, más tráfico. Ahorita el tráfico en la Rialto es imposible, especialmente en la salida que tenemos para ir ya sea lado derecho o lado izquierdo, siempre hay mucho tráfico con los troques. So you may be asking yourself why I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you this because we are already vulnerable to air pollution. We are vulnerable because we are located right next to the train, and this will only further that pollution. This will also create a very heavy traffic problem because right there on Rialto Avenue, it is impossible to turn left or right. It is impossible to get off our street onto Rialto safely. Perdón, pero yo no estoy de acuerdo con la extensión o con el proyecto que se quiere seguir ahí. Somos seres humanos y mi propiedad, pues he trabajado muy duro para yo tenerla y creo yo que no se me hace justo que ahorita vengan y nos digan que van a poner más contaminación y más tráfico y eso afecta a todas las familias que vivimos ahí. And I just don't think it's fair. We are all human beings here. We are people who have struggled to create these homes. We are people who have put in our livelihoods for the maintenance of these homes. And developing this project would further the poisoning in the air that we breathe and would continue to affect already very vulnerable communities. Muchas gracias por escucharnos y espero que sí puedan tomar la mejor decisión para este proyecto. Thank you for your time, and I really do hope that you take the time to make the best choice about this project.
Thank you. next speaker this morning, I have Ana Diaz.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Mi nombre es Ana Díaz.
My name is Ana Diaz.
Y yo vivo en el 2075 West Rialto Avenue.
And I live at 2575 North West Rialto Avenue.
Y tengo 11 años viviendo ahí.
I have lived there for 20 years.
Tengo 2 hijos.
I have 2 children.
El problema, antes vivía yo muy tranquila, sin ruido, sin contaminación.
I have lived there before with no noise, no contamination.
Mi casa es una mobile home.
My house is a mobile home.
Y sí nos afecta actualmente porque yo cuando llegué ahí no teníamos troques.
And it has affected because before when we moved there was not a lot of trucks.
Y ahora en la actualidad el tráfico, la contaminación.
And right now the traffic and the contamination.
A mí y a mis 2 hijos.
Myself and my 2 children.
Nos ha afectado en los ojos.
Has actually affected our eyes.
Porque ahora nos han recetado gotas todos los días y lentes.
The doctors have prescribed us eye drops due to the irritation and glasses as well.
Porque nos lloran y continuamente tenemos que estar lavándonos los ojos con jabones especiales.
We get tears, a lot of tears in our eyes, and we have to constantly be washing our eyes with special soaps because of the irritation.
Mis ingresos son bajos, por eso yo vivo en esa comunidad.
My income is, I am low income, so that's the reason why I live in that community.
Y quisiera que ustedes nos escucharan a nosotros la comunidad, que no tenemos los recursos para vivir en otra área.
I wish that you guys, the board will actually hear us out, the community that is there, because we do not have any resource to move from that community.
Y realmente las vibraciones de los tractocamiones y los camiones nos va a afectar a nosotros como somos mobile homes, somos casas construidas.
And all the vibration, apart from the pollution, is going to affect us due to the fact that we live in a mobile home. As the trucks pass by there, the vibration of the trucks will actually, move and will affect our dwelling.
Y quisiera que nos escucharan a la comunidad. Por algo hicieron esto y que tomaran en cuenta todos los aspectos. Y gracias por tomarnos en cuenta para venir a exponer nuestra opinión.
I would like for every one of you to actually take in consideration the fact that this community is going to be affected and how it will be affected. We are coming here, first and foremost, I would like to thank you the fact that you're taking the time to hear us. And for you to hear our concerns, take in consideration our concerns and how is this going to affect us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker this morning, I have Giovanni.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Giovanni.
Good morning, my name is Giovanni.
So, es primera vez que yo recibo esta carta.
This is the first time that I have received this notice.
Y lo que he estado escuchando y viendo que este proyecto viene de mucho tiempo atrás.
And what I have heard this morning is that this project has been, approved far back.
Y para empezar, definitivamente no estoy de acuerdo en esto. ¿Por qué?
First and foremost, I would like to say that I am not, I'm in opposition of this project.
Yo soy una de las personas quizá de muchas, principalmente afectadas porque yo vivo viendo el mapa, estoy en la mera entradita, estoy en el espacio 2, es en donde yo vivo y hay mucha vibración de camión.
So, first and foremost, I'm not the only one being affected by this project. I'm one of the bunch that are here and that will be affected. I myself live on space 2, which is closer to the project, and this will affect me, not only affecting me now, but it will affect me in the future as well.
Si va a mi casa, al entrar va a ver que tengo medicinas recetadas por el doctor de alergia de smog, de alergia de esto, de alergia del otro. Tengo niños pequeños también.
If you go to my house, you would actually see all the medication that is actually being prescribed by our doctors. Allergy medication due to the pollution and the smog that is created by the area. I have children as well that are under medication.
Estoy de acuerdo con ustedes en querer ver la ciudad mejor, más bonita, pero quisiera que nos tomaran en los proyectos que también en dónde va a quedar toda esa gente.
I understand that you would like to see the city, to beautify the city and have some, something to come to the city. However, I would like for you guys to take in consideration how these projects are affecting the community.
En la pantalla podemos ver una escala, un mapa relieve, pero si ustedes fueran personalmente a ver exactamente dónde va a estar la construcción, somos muchas familias, mucha gente que hay ahí.
On the screen, you would actually see the map. The map looks relevant. The map doesn't give a good perspective of how this is going to affect the community. If you actually would take the time to drive to this area and look at the area that the map is showing, there's significantly a bigger amount of community people, houses, and mobile homes that will be affected by this project if it was extended or approved.
Decía la compañera anterior que ella, tanto como ella, nosotros somos de bajos recursos y San Bernardino u otras ciudades tan caras que no es tan fácil para nosotros agarrar un papel y decir voy a comprar esta casa porque te piden un montón de requisitos. Entonces el sacarnos de ahí es decir lo que ella dijo, en años nos ha costado construir nuestro hogar ahí.
So just like my comrade right now mentioned, that she actually is low income, I am myself low income, there is no way that I could actually just get up and say when we receive one of these notices, to say, okay, I'm gonna get up and go look, as I got this notice, look for another home, because there is no way, they are asking for such high income. Houses are really expensive right now. They ask for a lot of requirements. And there's no way that I could actually just say, oh, I'm receiving this, and I could actually move my family and move to another place.
Como dije al principio, es la primera vez que yo recibo esta carta de hace mucho tiempo. Pienso que como yo, en donde yo vivo, hay mucha gente que no tiene ni idea de esto. Porque si tuvieran idea de esto, este lugar no alcanzaría para llenar toda la gente que estaríamos aquí, quizá en contra de esto.
So like I said before in the beginning, this is the first time that I have received this notice. I know for a fact that if there's a lot of people out in the community that have not received the notice and will not even understand what's going on with this notice. Because in fact, I know that if all my community was aware of it, they would actually be here, and this room would not be sufficient enough space to allow the whole community that will show up in opposition of this project.
Eso es todo y espero que tengan la mejor decisión.
This is everything that I had to say. I hope that you make a good decision.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the final speaker slip I have this morning, Martha Romero.
Good morning. I wasn't going to actually speak today. I am Martha Romero, community organizer and labor organizer with Teamsters Local 1932. As you know, some of you guys know we do represent county employees. We do represent the truck industry. However, I am going to speak as a community individual, not so much as what my career has brought me here. I might get emotional. My father was a truck driver. That was his livelihood. BNSF, getting those trucks out of that yard, was his livelihood. In 2002, my father got diagnosed with brain cancer. Doctors couldn't find the reason. Doctors couldn't actually tell what was the cause. It was unknown. They tried to figure it out after many exams, many tests, biopsies, several open skull surgeries to remove the malignant brain cancer. It was determined that it was his work, his livelihood, that was affecting him, that had created this cancer. It's a catch-22 for me. I am a child of a person that has actually benefited from this industry as well as been affected by this industry. My father passed away in 2019 after almost, give or take, 15 years of battle with cancer. I understand that our community needs truck stops, right? There's no hiding about that. However, this community, just like it was mentioned before, BNSF has brought so much pollution to the area that it has to be reconsidered. The north end of San Bernardino, which is where we moved from LA to north end of San Bernardino because it was ideal for my father to store his truck and trailer, has the potential for this to be a better site for this project. Is there a community? By all means, there is community. However, the land and the infrastructure is better, is more reasonable to accommodate this type of developments. Smack middle in our community is going to add pollution to the area, apart from the BNSF and Northern Pacific railroad tracks. They have extended this railroad tracks from being just a 4-lane track, train departures and area to, as we know, 11 tracks. This area is being bombarded by pollution from one, left, right, bottom, top. We as community, and I know that you guys do not reside in this area as my comrades are mentioning, the fact that this area is being affected by pollution, you guys as sitting elected officials, perhaps even appointed officials, have to take in consideration all this. There is no way that we could actually just keep our eyes closed and say pollution is not affecting our community. If you think about it, this is a prime example of environmental racism. This community is majority low income, Hispanic or Latinx. If it was an affluent community, Caucasian or high income, this project would not even be put in consideration or be brought. The board will actually, veto it or say that it needs to be put in another place. San Bernardino has been the cesspool for many corporations and many people. You as elected officials, you as appointed officials have to take that in consideration. Your community needs you to advocate for them. I'm not saying that a project like this is not needed in the area because we are the mecca of this industry. However, smack middle center in a community area where it's been already highly polluted by the trains, it's not the safest, it's not the smartest. Yeah, it might be the best industry for corporations and for the developer, but it's not for community. Take that in consideration. Put yourself in communities, shoes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's give an opportunity, if you'd like, the applicant. Is there anything you'd like to add this morning to this item?
My name is Melvin Elliott. I'm president of Elliott Precision Block Company. Our family is on the property, 14.3 acres at that site for 75 years. starting in 1946. And we've been operating a concrete block manufacturing business on that site since that time. So we're members of the community, and we've been here a long time, and we want to keep the property in the family in the future. And I think the environmental studies have shown that well, concrete block business is a heavy industrial business. The property is zoned heavy industrial. If you look at an aerial map, you see that the highest and best use for the property from an aerial map is we're surrounded by the same sort of facilities, so it's a conforming use. I don't know how we can be blamed for cancer from local residents. It's I think that's kind of a stretch, but anyway, this project was approved 2 years ago, and getting through the city with our plans has kind of been taking a long time. So we need the extension to be able to get the project off the ground. So that's so we're not a big corporation, we're just a family business. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So what I would suggest for the day then, given the comments that have been raised, and there's questions regarding the noticing, and just to clarify on the environmental, I think it would be the best course today to just continue this item. That would be no decision made today, either supporting or opposing the extension request. We would just simply look to continue it. That would be, at the moment, to the next regularly scheduled meeting of this committee, which would be for 2 weeks from today, Wednesday, August 23rd. If staff is in support, I would just look for a motion to take that action to continue.
Motion.
Sam, and do we have a second? Mina, thank you. All right, so just for everyone's clarity then, so no action taken on this item at this moment. Actually, I'm sorry, I missed one step. We have all in favor of continuing the item?
Yes.
All right, appears unanimous, thank you. So again, to clarify, no action taken on this item. This project, the extension is not approved, nor is it denied at this time. We're simply continuing it. This will be to the next meeting, same time, same location here, 10 a.m. In this room, 2 weeks from today. That would be Wednesday, August 23rd. And at that point, we will we'll see how things proceed. And that would be it for the item this morning. Moving on to our next item. This will be item number 4, pre-application 22-17. Chantel, if you wouldn't
I believe the
mind walking us
applicant
through.
is here for pre-app 22-17. So, pre-application 22-17, a request to allow the development and establishment of a 11-unit townhome development within 2 buildings containing approximately 13,905 square feet on a parcel containing approximately 0.71 acres, located at 466 Sepulveda Avenue within the residential high zone. Staff recommends that the Development and Environmental Review Committee give a preliminary review with no action required. I did provide the applicant with department comments prior to the meeting.
Okay, and I'm sorry, did we have our applicant?
Yes.
Is there anything you'd like to just discuss this morning, bring up? I don't know if you've had a chance to look at the draft conditions, or if you have any questions on anything.
So there's no discussion on this project at all?
No, this is just for comments only. I provided you with the draft comments. I don't know if you were able to look at them. If you have any questions, you can bring them up.
Okay. I have couple of questions.
Yes.
On the comments. First, do we have to go through environmental study or environmental control? Is there any requirement for
That
that?
will be determined when you do your formal submittal.
Mhm.
We'll take a look at it and we'll notify you if there's any environmental studies that you need to
Okay.
do for this.
Yeah, I just want to know if there is any specific studies required.
Yes, and
So that's
we'll take a look at that
later
when
on.
when you formally submit.
So what would this meeting determine?
This is just to collect comments.
Okay.
No action will be done.
So we do have all of the comments and any corrections that the committee members have provided individually. That has been put together,
Yes.
compiled in the packet. It was transmitted to you by Chantel.
Mhm.
So this meeting now is to address if you have any questions on anything or on those comments, anything that you would like to just discuss regarding the item.
So does it mean that I can proceed with the design review process?
Yes, so what the next course would be in this
I
would
believe
be,
for this one, it will be the development permit that you will need to go through, and I laid that out in my comment letter. Also a lot merger, and we'll determine the environmental when we formally submit.
So I just proceed, I mean, start.
Yes, so the next step would be to formally submit. So the comments that I you want to make sure that you address those comments and provide them on the plan.
So I'll contact you. Yeah, okay.
So the formal submittal will be in person, most likely, since I was the one that did the pre-app. I will be the one that takes,
Well, I would suggest moving forward from this morning with the comment packet that you do have, or the comment and draft condition packet. Review that. If you do have any further questions on the improvements that are proposed or any corrections, coordinate directly with Chantel on that. She can assist you. If it does involve any of the other committee members, we can look to set up any follow-up that may be necessary. And then based off of those corrections and the instructions that have been provided as far as the formal application type, next step would be to put together the formal application submittal, having addressed any of the comments or concerns or corrections in the packet, and then proceed with that route.
So I just work with Chantel.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, and as noted, it's just a pre-application this morning, so no formal action being taken. We'll move on to our next item.
Do I have the applicant for pre-app 23-02?
Thank you. Do we have our applicant for the next item, pre-app 2302? This is for Lincoln between Ennis and Central. Okay. Without the item here, I mean, we have, for the record, we do have I'll just run through real quick. This item is a request to develop and establish a trucking transportation distribution facility. Metal building, approximately 5,000 square feet in size on 3 parcels, totaling just a hair over 2 acres. It's located on the west side of South Lincoln between Ennis and East Central Avenue. This is just a pre-application, so no formal environmental has been determined. No action is being proposed today. Prepared the comment packet that's been transmitted to the applicant. We will continue to work with them directly moving it forward. Item number 6.
The pre-application 23-04, a request to allow the development and establishment of a contractor's vehicle storage yard on a parcel containing approximately 0.16 acres located at 879 East San Jacinto Street. Staff recommends that the Development and Environmental Review Committee give a preliminary review with no action required. Is the applicant for item number 6 here? Pre-application 23-04. The applicant is not here, but comments have been provided today.
Okay. Thank you. And as noted, no action required on this, so we will simply work with the applicant and move forward. Item number 7, pre-application 2306.
2306 is a request to allow the development and establishment of a 4-story mixed-use development consisting of approximately 2,643 square feet of commercial space and 41 residential units on a property comprised of 3 parcels containing a total of approximately 1.57 acres. It's located on the southwest corner of East Commercial Road and South Waterman Avenue within the Commercial General 1 zone and Residential Medium High zone. Staff recommends the Development and Environmental Review Committee give preliminary review with no action required. Is the applicant for item number 7 here, pre-application 23-06?
Okay.
They're not here, but they were provided comments for them to be.
All right, thank you. And as with the previous items, no action required on this item today. That brings us to our final item this morning, item number 8. This is subdivision 22-06 for tentative parcel map 20591 and development permit type D 22-14. This is a request to allow the subdivision of an existing parcel just under 10 acres in size into 2 parcels, approximately 6.8 and 3.2 acres in size respectively, and allow the development and establishment of an industrial warehouse building just 105,500 square feet in size on the 6.8 acre parcel. Property is located at 5705 North Industrial Parkway. It's in the Industrial Light Zoning District. The environmental determination on this was that the project was subject to a mitigated negative declaration that has been prepared. That did go out through the public review period on that. We did not receive any comments on that item. So we do have the final M&D that's been posted and included in the packet. There has been a mitigation monitoring and reporting program prepared for this item that is included in the draft resolution that was prepared for today. Staff's recommendation this morning would be to adopt the resolution 2023-028 for the item, adopting the mitigated negative declaration and the MMRP, the mitigation monitoring and reporting program, under CEQA, and approving subdivision 2206 and development permit type D 2214 based off the findings of fact and conditions of approval, or the recommended conditions. We do have our applicant here this morning. You've received the packet. Have you been able to review any of the conditions, any concerns or questions on anything that you've seen, or any other questions you'd like to add this morning?
We have no concerns.
Perfect. All right, then with that, I think we can just go pretty quickly on this one. Do we have a motion to approve this item as recommended?
Approved.
Mina, and a second?
Second.
Lazam, thank you. And all in favor? All right, thank you. It's unanimous. Well, congratulations then. The item has been formally approved. We'll work just getting that final resolution executed here in the coming days, get that signed and get that out to you, and then look forward to seeing the plan check submittal come in. That is it. With that, brings us to the end of the meeting. We will just adjourn to the next meeting of the ERC. This will be, as noted earlier, Wednesday, August 23rd, in this same room at 10 a.m. And thank you, everyone.